So many of you have probably seen my writings or my previous videos on the National Stearman Fly-In. Here's Blake Anderson, who's a fellow neighbor, Stearman owner, resides at Mallard's Land. He's a Delta captain, and myself in 719 here, departing for the 2024 National Stearman Fly-In in Galesburg. So it's a lot of fun, and in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the highlights of the trip and why we just enjoy going there every year. We left on Thursday the 30th, even though the convention technically didn't start until Monday, just to beat some weather. It turned out to be a really good decision. We have a very enjoyable trip on this day. It's about a 600-mile trip, so in the Stearman that requires 2 fuel stops. We actually get there on the 3rd stop. We'll stop on this trip in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and Mount Vernon, Illinois. Here's a picture of crossing the Ohio River just a little bit before Mount Vernon. And that's always kind of a beautiful picture to see the Ohio River there with some barges on it and bridges, and know we're getting close to lunch. And then about 7 flight hours later, here we are, landed at Galesburg. Looks like all my work on polishing paid off. Somewhat shiny, felt good about that. And we're going to share with you some highlights. So we did some flying. We'd love to do a lot of formation flying up there because we had about 79 Stearman. There's a really cool picture there. If you look in the mirror, you can see the Stearman behind us. And we're doing some tail chase, and this is what the view looks like from behind. So this is kind of formation practice. This is what it looks like when you're in the number 4 position in the diamond, and as well as when you're just in trail. This next series here is a video as we come back to land. We were out doing some formation training, planning, practice in a 4-ship, and we're in the right echelon formation here. So it's all 4 of us are off to the right side of lead, and you can see we're not exactly the Blue Angels. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. According to the formation manual, space-wise, but we're a much lighter aircraft than the Blue Angels. So in the heat of the afternoon and the wind, you can see we get bounced around a whole lot more than those big, heavy F-18s. But we have just as much fun. And so here we are coming down final. You can see the town of Blakesburg there in the background, or not Blakesburg, Galesburg. And kind of have Blakesburg on my mind because there's another antique event the week before Galesburg, and it's just a little ways away, and it's called Blakesburg. A lot of antique aircraft there. But here we are coming down final again. It's called Echelon Right, and in a few seconds you're going to see lead break off. That will be the farthest aircraft in the picture here. This is being filmed from my aircraft, so we're in the number 4 position. And lead calls for a 5-second break. So you'll see 5 seconds between each aircraft once lead breaks off. It's a pretty standard formation break. What we're doing is coming down final, aiming right at the runway we're going to land on. There goes lead. 5 seconds later, number 2, then number 3, then us. We brake to the left and we turn around and land. And in this case, we're landing on a grass runway that's right beneath me right now. So here I am braking off to the left. What that does is allow for the proper separation. One of the neat things we see is a lot of formation practice. We also did a missing man formation. Here I come across with the team. I'm right there in number 3 with the smoke. Missing man formation commemorates all those who've gone west or died since Galesburg last year. There's my aircraft again. Here's some more pictures just showing us in formation what it looks like. For those of you who maybe don't get a chance to see this, it's a lot of fun being in formation. It's good precision flying. You tend to forget about everything else in life that's going on because you're really, really concentrated. And, you know, you want to trust all the people that you're in formation with and know that they trust you as well to do the right thing. A simple mistake can have tragic consequences here. So we practice and we pay attention. Well, good morning, everyone. Guess where I'm at? I'm at the National Stearman Fly-In convention. So if you like radial engine noise and biplanes, you couldn't ask to be at a better place. We'll try and give you a quick snapshot here of the field. It's early on Friday morning. This is one of the favorite days at the National Stearman Convention. So this year we've got about 70 as of last night. Stearmans from all over the country. It's pretty cool, all kinds, colors. I'll show you some different ones. And today's a really neat day. We're gonna have a fly out to the Walford's ranch farm. They are the first registered airport in the state of Illinois, so the identifier is India Lima 01. It's pretty cool. We'll have lunch there. It's supposed to be a little sporty today with the winds, so I'm going to go early and watch the landings. So I'll share some of those with you here in a bit. It's been a really great week. Couldn't buy the weather. It's just been blue skies all day long, and hopefully you're hearing some of this radial engine noise over there. Let's see if we can get one taxiing out. These are all the early risers. And we're gonna head to Walford's here in a little bit. Here's the best view at the Walfords. We're on top of a grain elevator, and you can see all of the steermen that showed up. It's a little sporty today with the winds. 15 gusts to 20, almost a direct crosswind. Everybody did a great job getting here, but it was fun to watch. Beautiful country here, and the food spread was just delicious. So I wanted to share this one with you. I bet not too many of you have seen a Stearman in this kind of paint job. So this is known as the Recall Stearman. It's really, really pretty. This one was at Oshkosh, and he won an award this year at Galesburg. A lot of effort went into this paint job. I spoke with the gentleman. He said it took 400 hours of taping once it was together just to paint the stripes. The purpose of this, if you think back to World War II when the Stearmans were being used for training, there'd be 100 or so Stearmans at these individual fields, and they'd be out, no radios back then. So students soloing or instructors out with students flying around doing maneuvers, whatever they might be doing. Let's say the weather changed, or there's a storm coming in, or maybe the runway is a problem, the airfield, whatever the reason is, they needed everybody to come back. So they would launch this Recall Stearman, and it would fly around, and people would see it, the instructors and the students, and see these colors and know it was time to cease what they were doing and return back to the field. So it was pretty neat to see these. I think there were 2 there at Galesburg this year, and you don't see them very often, but when you do, they're kind of neat, and knowing the history behind them is also kind of neat. One of the other traditions at Galesburg is every time you go to one of the fly-ins, you get a different colored banner placed on your strut. So I've been there 5 times. You'll see 5 on mine. It's been going 53 years, so there are some there with a whole bunch on their strut. Anyway, we save them from year to year and put them back on for the fly-in. Well, as I mentioned, I'm at the Galesburg Fly-In, the National Stearman Fly-In in Galesburg, and we just had a really fun flight today, probably the most fun flight I've had all week. We did a Young Eagles flight. Mom and Dad are here, and so is Sadie. Want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Joe.
I'm Sadie. I'm Casey.
Hi, Casey. Hi, Sadie. Hi, Joe. So, what'd you think, Sadie?
It was a lot of fun. It was so cool being up there.
Well, the problem with Galesburg is there's always airplane noise. So, we'll try again. What'd you think?
It was so cool. It was so pretty up there.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? This girl, you're in 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
She flew, quite candidly, almost as well as I did, but we won't tell anybody. But she flew for almost the entire flight. She was kind enough to let me make the landing, so thank you. So we had a whole bunch of school kids come by on Thursday, I think it was, or Friday.
Yeah.
And Sadie's the only one that came back, so she's got a story to tell everybody at school.
Yeah.
Should be fun. Thanks for going.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here's some pictures from the formation contest to show you the 3 primary formations. This is a finger 4, strong left, so you see 2 off to the left side of lead there. By the way, these guys won the formation contest. Really, really great job. Here's the diamond formation. So you'll see lead and then 1 and 2 off to the left and right sides with 4 in trail. And they look really, really good here. And then here's what's called the echelon formation, and they are in a left echelon here. So this will be a break to the right for landing. This is the typical initial for landing approach. All right, here I am with Tom Lowe, who is the genius behind the National Stearman Fly-In. How many years now, Tom?
53, I think it is. 53, 54, I can't remember.
It's really neat. I mean, we all just have a great time, and so I understand there's a special highlight for you today.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see in the back of today, my 17-year-old grandson, who has been around airplanes his entire life, born and raised in an airplane family. He's been flying our Aranca Champ ever since he was 12 years old.
Wow.
Anyway, today he's going to go out with his father, who is a CFI, and he's going to enjoy his first flight as a pilot in a Stearman in the rear cockpit. He's been flying it quite a bit over the time in the front cockpit, but now he's getting ready to start moving up, and it'll be his first flight from the rear seat.
That's so cool. And for those of you watching not understanding, the command pilot in a Stearman is in the rear cockpit.
Right.
So, and how cool to go with his father.
And the thing of it, Kyle, my grandson is 17 right now, and at this time he's working. He has a student pilot's permit. He's working towards his private license, and insurance will not allow him to solo the airplane until he has a private license. So this is a major step towards that. Next year he's going to be going to college at Illinois, at the Southern Illinois University, and he's going to be in a double major.
Wow.
The aviation flight program, at the same time the A&P mechanics program, and so we're very proud of him.
Clearly he takes off to his father and grandfather.
Well, let's hope so.
That's really neat. Tom, thanks for everything you've done. It's really way cool.
Yeah,
and,
thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Can't wait to see you next year.
We'll plan on being here.
Good, good, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, 12 days later, it was time to come home, and what you're looking at here is the outside air temperature gauge at 7:30 in the morning, Galesburg time. 41.9, a little chillier than Atlanta when we left. So luckily, we all took warm clothes. I had a heated jacket on, actually, and it made the flight somewhat doable. You can see it was just gorgeous when we took off in the morning with some ground fog out there in the valleys, and made you forget about the cold temperature here. And there again is the Ohio River. We're headed south this time. Things did warm up, although all the clothes stayed on, all the heavy jackets, I should say, until we were a little bit north of Atlanta. So, and flight time back was just around 7 hours again. Basically, we had about a 5-knot tailwind. So that worked out wonderful. We had just a great trip, and here we are landing back at Mallard's Landing. And another Galesburg. This was the 53rd convention, is in the history books. Hopefully we'll be going back this time next year and sharing some of that with you. Thanks for watching.